Rob Schneider was just an average guy. And then you get turned into a carrot. Welcome to Tairimo Boys podcast. I'm your host, Cody. With me in second chair is the boy who currently owes $287 in profanity fines. It's Jeremy.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Stop cussing, Jeremy. I hate editing out.
Hey, I gotta make it worth its money.
With me in third chair is the boy's solution to getting a cat out of a tree is to blow up the tree. It's Ryan.
What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen at home, after 2 years of talking about it, we have finally done it. We're reviewing Demolition Man.
It's about time.
As you know, we here at the Tairimo Boys podcast have a very busy schedule.
Slumped, if you will.
Yeah, we're very important people.
The reason we've always talked about reviewing this movie is because Mr. Jeremy here has never seen it.
Correct.
So, Jeremy, what were your first thoughts on the movie?
First thoughts on the movie. All right. I can't crack my fingers, so just pretend I'm cracking them. Los Angeles 1996 looks a lot like Los Angeles 2020. There's my first thoughts.
Yeah, I forgot to mention the rule before the podcast. Let's not get too political with this podcast.
Also looks like LA 2025, just saying, without going into politics.
This movie is making political messages, and a lot of it came true.
Pulled a goddamn Simpsons on us.
So an interesting fact for you, Jeremy, in the 1996 scene, they actually based that off of the LA riots.
Oh, go figure. Also not surprising.
Yep.
Boy, do they love to riot there.
That was the Rodney King thing, if I remember right.
But politics aside, I was looking forward to this movie.
Did you enjoy it, though?
That is a real question. I'll save that for a little bit.
Okay. Ryan, your first thoughts?
I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be and what I remembered from the trailers as a kid. I thought it was going to be like standard 90s action movie fare with, like the Stallone and Schwarzenegger movies of old. Did not expect this just kind of set in the future, but I did not expect like the sci-fi of it all and a very naive Sandra Bullock making unfortunate sentence structure mistakes and vocabulary mistakes.
Okay, that was one of the best parts of the whole movie. I have to go with it.
But overall, I enjoyed it.
Yep. So trust me, I've got written down here, made his meat, licked his ass.
Which I could have done without seeing Stallone's ass in the movie, but
well, we're gonna get another segment, so don't worry.
Oh no! I already know where this is going. Nope.
We don't get that segment, Jeremy. We don't get the better
segment.
Okay, thank God.
But I remember the very first time I watched this movie. I was in high school. Like Demolition Man. I kind of feel like something. Watching something with blowy up stuff. And did I get blowy up stuff? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never heard of the movie whenever I watched it, and it just blew me away because I love it because it's not all blowy up stuff like a Michael Bay movie. There are points where the movie slows down and you see what like life is like in the future. Because at the end of the day, this is really kind of a fish out of water story.
Mm-hmm. I'll put.
Hold on, you got me thinking. The scene where Stallone was being unfrozen. Did either of you boys get like Austin Powers vibes from that?
Yep.
Yes,
I did.
Especially since it was on last night.
I wonder if that's where Austin Powers took the scene from.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
I was disappointed there wasn't a evacuation gag.
You don't need that in every movie, Ryan.
I do.
It's what makes Ryan feel whole.
Pun intended?
Oh, definitely pun intended.
All right, we've been discussing stuff too long. For anyone who's never seen this movie, it's a Sylvester Stallone movie. Also stars Wesley Snipes. Poster has Jesse Ventura on it, but his role is like so tiny, it's not funny.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
I was thinking, like, whenever I was looking at the poster before watching, I don't remember Jesse Ventura being in this movie. It's like, oh, that's why he's only in like one tiny little scene.
Briefly.
But what it's about is the movie. It came out in 1993. By the way, it was a success in theaters. Stars Sylvester Stallone. He's John Spartan. He's got the nickname the Demolition Man because everywhere he goes, stuff blows up.
Mass destruction.
It takes place in Los Angeles at the start, where it's kind of like Escape from LA, where criminal gangs rule the city, RoboCop vibes, and Wesley Snipes plays like I don't know if you call him a supervillain.
Reminded me of the Joker, at least in the beginning.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he
I was
plays.
gonna say I'm not into like radical changes to character, but man, Wesley Snipes played a good Joker.
Yes, he did, especially for the first half of the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, he still had a few jokes towards the end, but I could take him a lot more serious towards the end.
I loved him in this movie.
I did too. Did you guys get the feeling he goes from kind of going back to that joke about the Joker? He went from like an anarchist to what you said, Cody, like a supervillain in the end.
Well, I mean, that's kind of. I mean, ultimately he was going to get anarchy, so I think he just seized an opportunity.
Most importantly, he didn't pay his taxes.
Guess like struggle snuggling too.
Was that one of his skill sets that he acquired?
That's a list of his crimes. If anyone doesn't know this movie, they're probably confused as hell right now. But anyways, it starts with a hostage situation, and it leads to like the whole building getting blown up, and Spartan taking the blame for it, and they're trying out like a new punishment method, which is cryogenic freezing. So they both get frozen, and Phoenix, Wesley Snipes' character, gets unfrozen early and ends up getting released into the most politically correct pussy whip society ever. Is in the 36 years in the future from 1996, the far, far futuristic year of 2032. Apparently, everyone's pussy whipped.
And there's no sex.
So, like I said, it's a fish out of water story, and you're following Spartan as he tries to catch Phoenix, and he's got to adapt to the way society works now. His roughness. And boy, did this movie get a lot right and a lot wrong. Okay, I'm going to come out here and say this. I hate that they only set the movie like in the year 2032. I really wish that they would have set it like 2132. Because it does this exact same thing Back to the Future did.
Okay, fair. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Agreed. Yeah, definitely agree with that.
So just notice for your filmmakers out there, although I think they've learned by now. If you want to send someone to the future, send them way into the future, not just a couple of decades. You're not going to get the results that you're expecting. You get close to the results, but we don't have the rail guns and fancy cars.
Although those cars, those police vehicles did look suspiciously like Waymos.
What did I read? I think General Motors made those for the movie. It was like 11 million for well, was it 11? It was they got like 11 copies of it. Now I've got to ask the question. And I'll start with you, Jeremy. How do the three seashells work?
I still don't know because Stallone asked that in the end. And you know what? I'm not sure that I want to find out.
Well, Jeremy, hopefully you never end up in the future.
No, I don't want to be.
Ryan, do you know how the three seashells work?
Bro, I don't effing know.
You know what? I cuss enough I'd get toilet paper anyway.
So the director has said it works kind of like chopsticks. Use the third one to clean up.
That's disgusting.
I could have gone my entire rest of my future, Cody, without that fun fact.
Too bad. The meme that came out of this movie. You can find like shirts with three seashells on it.
Oh my god.
Now, what did you boys think about the future as a whole? Did you like the concept for the movie?
I like the idea. I mean, I don't want to live in a future like that, but I mean, I like it for the movie.
You're getting close to living in one, Jeremy.
Dangerously close.
Ryan?
It didn't really land for me that much, but maybe that's because of what I expected from this movie. But even so, I don't know. I didn't like the whole like sanitized future. It just didn't appeal to me.
So you mean the future that we're about to have?
Yeah.
We're getting there.
For all the Zoomers at home, I can tell you the internet used to be a lot better of a place. Corporate,
Entertainment in general.
yeah, it's a corporate shithole nowadays. Used to be like the Wild West.
And now it's the soft West. The sanitized West, if you will.
The thing that kind of confused me is like, how are they like the police so pussy whipped in this movie if they've got like rebel forces living under the city that are raiding them?
Didn't they keep them locked in? Didn't
No.
they have to like use something to access? Well, at least some of those grates or those manholes.
No, because they escape like multiple times. I think those
True.
the
And there is one scene where they just specifically escape by pushing the manhole up, which I can tell you aren't going to do that by yourself.
Yeah, you gotta have like a crowbar or something.
Yeah, those things, a sewer pick, those things are hundreds of pounds. There's one of my nitpick boys.
Jeremy,
I've got a few of them here.
If you keep nitpicking, you're gonna pick the part of the movie apart.
No, I'm not going to go that hardcore, but there is some stuff I am.
Okay, well, start nitpicking then, Jeremy.
Okay, the museum, where they go to the violence area or the violence display. Why would you keep loaded guns?
Well, first off, they probably weren't loaded, but they had ammo Bangladesh, is that what they're called? Draped around them.
Bandolier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would they keep live munitions in there? That's a hazard.
Because the future is safe, Jeremy. Minus the rebels. You could easily raid the place. I was more impressed that Phoenix got the cannon working. Like, wow,
Okay, that was one of my favorite parts of the movie. When he asked about, he's like, where the f*** is the Radio Shack?
That's a reference kids nowadays won't get.
Yeah, Radio Shack. That also belongs in one of those museums.
The funny story is, town I live in, whenever I moved in, it used to have like a Radio Shack. Like, how long was that? Like 8 years ago. It is now a sports rehab place.
Rest in peace, Radio Shack. Rest in peace.
No
I loved you in every mall that I went to.
No one misses Radio Shack. The final days of Radio Shack were just selling like junk.
Like GameStop now?
Yeah, well, I've been saying for the last 20 years that GameStop's just about done. But like that whole meme of getting GameStop's stock up kind of gave them a few years of extra life breathed into them.
What a way a community can turn the stock market around.
Get any other nitpicks, Jeremy?
Oh, they'll come back to me.
Okay.
I don't want to tear apart this movie because I did enjoy it for the most part.
There you go. Most parting like Ryan.
Yeah, I had to because Ryan didn't say it earlier. I had to put it in
It was
there.
not. That was an oversight on my part.
It's okay. We've only been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Ryan, you got any nitpicks you want to add?
Not right now.
Okay. Well, since we're being so negative, let's be a little bit more positive. It's time for Boop Bonanza!
Yes!
I forgot this movie had Boop Bonanza in it.
I was pleasantly surprised.
So, we're actually going to start with a quiz. Jeremy, how many boobs did we see in this movie?
I saw one pair.
Oh, Ryan, how many pairs did we see?
I don't know any but the one pair.
Ooh.
Color me curious. Where's the additional pairs? Because I will rewatch this
During
movie.
the sex scene?
That was the one. That was the pair I saw.
Yeah. Wait, you actually saw the hard pair? The hard to see pair? Okay.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock was involved. Why would I not see that?
Because it was
I'm
quick.
talking about the other one.
I'm hyper focused.
You didn't see the blonde?
Oh my gosh, this is madness.
This is the craziest
Okay.
bonanza we've had so far.
Yeah, this is our most controversial segment. Boob bonanza ever. Okay, there are actually 2 sets of boobs in the movie. The viewers at home, they need important context. So, pussy whipped future. Sex and fluid swaps are illegal, can't even kiss. So, for
Nope.
sex, they put these like helmets on, and it does like all this mental stuff.
Which is the literal meaning of mindfuck.
Yeah. And-
Oh, I've been saving that one.
Jeez. But Sylvester Stallone hates it. But during it, you see like all these flashes. It's like blink and you'll miss it, but you get to see Sandra Bullock's boobs.
Mhm.
And then he gets mad, takes the thing off. He's like, I want to actually fuck. He's like, oh no, you were not. That's illegal. It's gross. So he leaves, go back to his apartment, and then they have like video phones in the future. And this is like the easy to see one. There's like he's getting ready to start knitting because whenever they're in cryo sleep, they get like skills put into them. Apparently, his was knitting.
He's a
Like
seamstress.
a naked chick appears on the phone. It's like, "Hey, how you doing, Mark?" It's like, "Oh, I got the wrong number," and then she hangs up.
That's the one I saw. I didn't see the sex scene.
I don't know. Maybe I was still thinking about Sandra Bullock. Blocked everything else out.
Trust me, to see Sandra Bullock's boobs, I had to like move the speed down to 0.25 and keep pausing it to find it.
That is crazy that I was able to see those, but I completely missed the other pair.
Their pair are on screen for like 10 seconds.
And the other one's milliseconds.
Trust me, I've got an eye for boob bonanza.
Well, you can tell where my focus was.
All right. So,
I made sure to pop a Zen just for that scene.
okay. So, Ryan, the pair of boobs you saw, what'd you think about those boobs?
10 out of 10. Also, it really made me realize how much 90s and 80s movies are like, you know what? Let's just throw some titties in this movie.
That's exactly what I thought. Just out of
That
nowhere.
was the 90s.
But yeah, those were 10 out of 10 boobs. And by the way, that chick was a Penthouse model. And if you'd like to see her boobs, you can get like the copy of Penthouse that she was in around the time.
Nice
Okay.
plug.
For research purposes, do we know what copy this was?
Now you can look it up, but I don't have it written up off the top of my head. If I want boobs, I just go to Google and I get like a billion results if I type in boobs. Yeah, if you're subscribed to OnlyFans, like fuck off. You can get that shit for free.
Or a very cheap drink.
But Jeremy, the boobs you saw, Sandra Bullock's boobs. What do you think about those boobs?
I've only done this once before, but I'm going to say 11 out of 10.
And that's a high score.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy really likes Sandra Bullock's boobs.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't?
Me, because I'm giving it like a 2 out of 10 because it's blink and you miss it. Unless you got super boob powers like I do.
Well, I had super boob powers. Sandra Bullock's.
Yeah, well, Jeremy, you had super boob powers.
In my mind, that picture stopped for at least 10 seconds. And no, I did not pause it. Swear to God.
That was the boob bonanza.
That was a good one. The most controversial yet.
So, Jeremy, next question. What do you think about the action scenes in this movie?
Straight up 90s. Got your little set pieces with the nice pyrotechnics. You got your good set pieces. Your bad CGI. Over the top action. What more than you can ask for?
Ryan, your thoughts?
Also very 90s. Very hammy martial arts moves.
It's just got that
What I
like
would expect.
nostalgic, 90s action feel.
Yeah.
You know when you're watching a 90s movie. It's really the only way I can put it.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, is Wesley Snipes actually knows martial arts. And apparently they told him that he needs to slow down his movements because the cameras were having trouble capturing how fast he was moving.
He was ahead of his time.
You could tell Wesley Snipes had a lot of fun in this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
This is a totally different role than I'm used to seeing Wesley Snipes in.
Yeah, usually doesn't he play the hero? I know he played, but of course there's like a decade he was behind bars for like tax evasion. And there's your fun fact too. Originally they wanted Jackie Chan to play the villain in this movie.
That would be wildly different.
Yeah, I think the movie is way better with Snipes in it.
I can't imagine Jackie Chan as a bad guy like that.
Yeah, because he always played the hero. So Jackie Chan's actually really good friends with Stallone, and if I remember right, kind of turned down the movie because he didn't want to get like Hong Kong and Asian actors to get typecast as like villains.
Interesting. Speaking of friends, there's quite a bit of references in this movie to other actors.
Yep.
Lethal Weapon 3 poster.
Yeah.
A lot of call-outs to Arnold, too. We can't skip that.
I mean, the movie just bleeds like 90s.
It really does.
But yeah, some of the stuff in the future is like everyone's like singing old like commercials. Okay.
Like cheap commercials, too.
Yeah, like they're in the car, like singing the Armored Hot Dog songs, and Spartan's just like rolling his eyes, like, you gotta be kidding me. What have I gotten myself into? And here's your little fun fact, boys. We watched the European version of this movie.
Did we?
Yep.
I'll be damned. Why didn't we get the States version?
So
Was there more boobs?
No. Ryan, did you catch that?
Nope.
Well, Ryan doesn't remember the movie then. All right, so the reason I know that we didn't watch the American version is because in the American version, they go to Taco Bell. And then
Ah,
in the non-American versions, the European versions, they go to Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut, huh?
Yeah.
I
So,
don't know. I'd take Taco Bell over Pizza Hut.
yeah, well, too bad. In this version of the movie, Pizza Hut won the franchise wars.
Yeah, what a shame.
But I love that scene where whichever version of the movie's like, oh yeah, no, I gotta finally go get some real food. And they go there, it's like turned into like a fancy restaurant where it gets like nachos with like shit drizzled on it to look fancy. Well, I mentioned this movie's really clever. Oh yeah, then there's like a pianist singing like the Jolly Green Giant song.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
All right, so time to ask the question, Jeremy. What was your favorite scene?
Hmm. Circle back to me on a second.
All right, Ryan. What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was maybe the car chase towards the end of the movie, or the museum fight. Go with one of those two.
Yeah, if I
Okay,
had,
that's fair.
yeah, if I had to go with one, I'd say the museum fight, because it's really where we first get our first like serious future conflict between Phoenix and Spartan.
So I was gonna say the same exact thing, but reverse order for me, Ryan. I was gonna go with museum scene first, with strong second being car chase. There's quite a bit of good scenes in here.
Yeah,
Like you said, Cody, it does slow down, but we also get some funnier moments through those slow scenes,
yeah.
so it doesn't feel like it drags on too much.
It's the whole fish out of water thing where like, why the
Mhm.
hell are you guys doing this?
And that's really what made it funny. And then, of course, Sandra Bullock's parts about just her being so naive.
Yeah.
I guess everybody was naive.
Yeah. He went and started killing people. There was like panicking. He's like, this ain't supposed to happen as a police officer. He committed a murder, death, kill.
Murder, death, kill. That's it. I was trying to remember what order it was in. Murder, death, kill. Well, Stallone murder, death, killed a lot of the guys when he was first chasing Snipes. So, and then he tries to place Snipes under arrest.
Well, he's the Demolition Man, Jeremy.
He is the Demolition Man. Also, that beret that he wears. I wonder if that was inspiration for the Expendables. He's like, oh damn, I miss wearing the beret back in the '90s.
That's it. It probably was. And by the way, it was the U.S. Army, their Air Force division. Like, not the actual Air Force, but part of the Army. That's why whenever he gets unfrozen and he meets that like older black cop, that's how they would know each other. It's like, I knew you when you were a rookie pilot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was mentioned.
And that's also why it's unbelievable that they kind of got everyone so pussy whipped in only 36 years. Like you can't change society like that in 36 years. It takes a few
True.
generations.
Yeah, what we see happening nowadays.
Yeah, well, there's backlash now.
We're the freedom fighters.
Fight for your Wild West back.
Please, goddammit, take this message and run with it.
Fight for Chef Boyardee Tortellini to return.
Yes, that and random boobs in movies.
All right. Before we start passing the topic, we're going to do Jeremy's favorite segment. It's time for some boys in action. So, Jeremy, if you were in this movie, where would you die?
I'm pretty well acclimated to where I live now, which is very, very hot. So I would have died in the freezing process. I didn't make it very far.
Yeah, they kind of have a screw up, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, filming that scene, Stallone said that was like 5 hours of hell.
Was his ass showing the entire time?
Probably. But
Because that was more of Stallone than I ever wanted to see.
he was probably claustrophobic in those, that chamber, and they were pulling that.
It wasn't a very big tank.
Yeah, they were pouring that gel on him, so probably had to deal with like fear of drowning or something. Ryan, what about you?
In the beginning, when he jumps out of the helicopter, my cord would snap.
I love it how we're being honest about how soon we die.
I was going to say during one of the shootouts, but it turns out Wesley Snipes' character, great martial artist, terrible shot.
Oh, I forgot to mention Stormtrooper aim throughout.
I was gonna
movie.
say, were we watching I know there was a Star Wars reference in there in this movie, but god damn, I didn't know the stormtroopers were showing up.
No, they don't do infinite ammo, but sometimes they'll give Eclipse more ammo than they should have. But every
I knew you were gonna say that.
single shot in the movie misses. Like, okay, the guy's standing out there. How are you missing? As for me, I think I would survive this movie.
Ooh.
X.
All right.
Oh, but Ryan, I don't think you know where I'm going with this.
I feel
Go.
there's a clever twist coming up.
Yes, there is.
Hang on, let me get my popcorn.
All right. So, I think I would have been able to survive, get down, and confront Phoenix. So, first big thing, when there's gasoline covering the floor, you smell that. So, I wouldn't have stepped in that. But here's the big thing. What happened in the movie is he lit a cigarette with his blowtorch and then turned the blowtorch off and flicked the cigarette into the thing. The Mythbusters have tested that cigarette can't light gasoline. I would have shot him dead.
And wouldn't have missed.
I don't have Stormtrooper aim. You're pretty damn close, and he's not moving. Right in the chest. Place would have
Well, you survived, but it was a quick movie.
Yeah. Then they would have came in, saw that Phoenix had slaughtered like all the hostages, and I probably got a medal.
Okay, hero. I like that boys in action.
He's in reality. Oh, this got me thinking. Spartan got over the death of his wife real quick.
I also thought the same thing too. Didn't seem to bother him much.
Yeah, it's not even. He hasn't even been unfrozen for like 24 hours, and he's already trying to sleep with Sandra Bullock.
Well, I mean, come on, Sandra Bullock.
And by the way, there's originally in the movie there was supposed to be a plot where he'd meet up with his daughter. They do mention his daughter a few times, but like
He was like, nah.
I don't want to deal with that. But originally he was supposed to, but they ended up cutting it because audiences thought it was kind of creepy that he was gonna be sleeping with someone that was his daughter's age. So there you go. So Jeremy, last topic on to you.
Did anybody feel like that Rob Schneider in this movie was the only time he's ever looked young in his entire life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Me and my friend were watching Hot Chick the other day, which I haven't seen in years. And I was like, I swear to God, he has never looked young. Like, he's always looked old in everything I've ever seen until I saw this movie. I was like, well, I've officially seen him look a little bit younger.
I did keep thinking about that South Park sketch with him. Rob Schneider was just an average guy, and then you get turned into a carrot.
First thing I thought of when I saw him.
I love that episode.
I can't watch Rob Schneider stuff without thinking about that.
I know. Guilty of it as well.
Or anything else, Jeremy?
Oh, yeah, so the whole resistance thing that wasn't really a resistance, but was a resistance. They could have easily overthrown the city at any time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that bothered me so much. Like, oh, our people are starving. And, like, the guy's only explanation was, well, I'm no leader. Even though they go up to the surface anyway. Like, bro, you guys got your guns versus batons.
Yeah, they had makeshift guns, and the police were pussy whipped, so you could have taken over the whole country.
That bothered the hell out of me.
Yeah, like I mentioned at the start, like the rebels don't really make sense without pussy whipped everyone is.
Right? All right, third thing. Would you boys ever try a rat burger?
Oh no.
I'd have to be really hungry to eat rat.
That was one of my other favorite scenes, too.
I always love that. Like, all right, some real food eats. It's like, what is this? And he says, "Rato" in Spanish. And there's just a pause, and he takes another bite. Like, not bad, not bad.
I guess if you're frozen for that long, rat would probably taste pretty good.
He hasn't eaten normal food in a whole 24 hours, Jeremy.
Hey, that's a long time to not have protein. I'd be suffering too.
Ryan, pass top one to you, and apparently you had a lot to say.
Number one. Who
Who made our
was
list?
the standout performance for you?
Sandra Bullock.
As much as I want to say Sandra Bullock, Wesley Snipes, because he killed
I'm
it.
gonna go
Like I
out
said, I've
left
never seen him in
field.
a role like this.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out in left field, especially considering what you just talked about. Mine's Dennis Leary.
Dennis Lee. Oh yeah, the rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I've never really seen him in a role like that.
What stuff does he normally do? His name's familiar.
What is he in? Actually,
He's a comedian. He was in Rescue Me. He was in another Sandra Bullock movie. I can't remember the name of it. He's been in a lot of movies and television shows. He's a big stand-up comedian.
Yeah, I just pulled up his
Awesome.
Wikipedia. He
In
does
The
like-
Sandlot.
Ah, okay, that's where I know from.
He has the look of, well, he used to have the look at least of someone who'd do action movies.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Not aging well.
God, aging sucks.
I read too. They rewrote some of his role in the movie. He wasn't originally supposed to have the script, like speech, like "I want freedom. I'm gonna eat whatever the hell I want." But they ended up adding that to the movies just to hear him rant.
That was a good rant. A little goofy, but I loved it.
All right, number 2. Favorite line.
I'm still gonna go with that. Matched his meat, licked his ass line. Stallone's Claire corrects her. Met his match, kicked his ass. There's one.
Yeah.
There's later on, he's like, close enough. Like, you can take this job and shovel it. Close enough.
All those were good, but probably my favorite was when, during the car chase, when Snipes was shooting at Stallone, and he said, "Say hello to my little friend." And he ran the fields.
Yep. That's a good one.
What about you, Ryan?
Mine was during the outside fight when Wesley Snipes was fighting like the 6 cops. And one of the cops, like, just looking at the action, said something to the effect of, "We're the police. We're not trained to handle violent confrontation like this."
I forgot about that one. That was a good one too.
All right, and number 3, and this one's really for Cody, but you can answer this too, Jeremy. I'm gonna start with Cody.
Okay.
Cody, I've hung out with you a lot to the point that I now just associate you with a computer. So my question for you is, can you type as fast as Wesley Snipes can in this movie?
Cody can type faster. Like I said before.
I assume they programmed the typing skills into him with his hacking skills. Like, I don't know how many words per minute I do. I think maybe 60.
A lot.
Whenever I was a teenager, I was like top of the class whenever it came to like typing ability. But if you look at kids now, I'm an elderly old man compared to them. But the thing is, I peck my keys, and I figured I've developed a technique where I peck keys at 60 words per minute or however many I do. So it sounds loud as fuck.
I was gonna say you're the most aggressive pecker I've. That sounded funny. You're the most aggressive chicken pecker for when it comes to the keyboard.
He is an aggressive pecker, isn't he?
He is an aggressive pecker. All puns intended today. As for me, I can't type for shit. So,
All right, Jeremy, final thoughts?
final thoughts. Absolutely worth seeing. Tairimo Boys Certified Fun. It was a different type of movie for me. Just I like the idea of. I mean, I don't like the idea of a pussy whip future, but it worked for the movie.
It was a war.
And I had a lot of fun with it.
Ryan, final thoughts?
Not totally what I expected from a Stallone movie, but I did enjoy it. Yeah, it was good.
As for me, I always enjoy this movie every time I watch it. Highly recommend it. It's funny, it's clever, and it's a warning. Like I've been saying constantly. Definitely check
We
it
are
out.
the resistance.
All right, let's scale this bad boy. So today we've got the dystopian future scale. Jeremy, on a scale of RoboCop, the original version of it, and I hate that we live in a world where I have to say that, to the live action adaptation of Aeon Flux. If you're unaware, Aeon Flux was an anime, but they turned it into a really crappy live action movie.
Which I have never seen. So I can only assume it's absolute garbage. Aeon Flux. So I'm going to put this 6 Sandra Bullock boob pairs out of 10 to RoboCop.
How many boob pairs from those cops and those lady cops in RoboCop would that be?
We're going to put that. Oh, damn. Those ones in RoboCop were. Damn. 4 pairs.
All right, fair enough.
I'll buy that for $1.
All right, bitches leave. Let's move on. What about you, Ryan?
I want to put this 50 neutron guns above RoboCop 3.
You know, I thought about using RoboCop 3 for the bottom of the scale, but they were doing some kind of RoboCop 3 joke, but I didn't.
I was going to make that rating right even before you said RoboCop.
As for me, it's up there with RoboCop. If I had to choose between watching the two movies, I'd choose RoboCop. But it follows pretty closely. The only downside of this movie is that some of the future scenes can be slow, but you gotta have them to get the idea across that you want in this movie. All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to another episode of Tairimo Boys Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, telling us what you would do to stop Phoenix. Don't forget to ring the fucking bell. Stay tuned. More episodes.